What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 3. It is Monday, it's 5:30 in the morning, and this is gonna be my first full day of eating video. But first things first, we're gonna do some morning cardio. So I'll see you guys at F45 South Road. So, funny little story for you guys. After I last saw you on Friday night, I coached the next morning, Saturday here. I decided it would be a good idea to sleep in and therefore push back both the sessions in the morning by 15 minutes, which is not a good thing to do with F45. It's a very structured thing. So I slept in, I was late, I felt so bad. And as a way to, I guess, also apologize and try to make it up to the guys, I suggested, all right, suggest some punishments for me to do in the next week, and we'll see what we can do. So I was gonna do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday cardio sessions this week to make up for it. And we came with the idea that Monday session would be entirely on that piece of equipment up right there, the rower, my favorite piece of equipment. So today's session is gonna be nothing but rowing. 30 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. I don't know how many sets I'm doing. 52 sets, I think. It's gonna be a lot. Anyway, so today's session is just a rower. Normally it's 27 different stations, and you do one set each station, and you do 2 laps of the whole floor. But for me today, it's just a rower, because apparently it's my favorite piece of equipment, which it is. I mean, I used to be a rower in a past life, but that's today's session. So I guess I'll see you guys out there for my F45 rower session.
Take it from me, I don't wanna be lonely.
That was savage. That was just straight up ridiculous. I mean, I love the rower, but doing an F45 session on nothing but the rower just goes and goes and goes. You really appreciate how much different variety you get in a session when you have to do one piece of exercise, one piece of equipment for the whole time. Anyway, welcome to the first full day of eating, guys. Currently 9 weeks out from the IFBB South Australia stage show. Let's get the macros going up. We have total calories today, 3,320 calories, of which protein, 314 grams, carbs, 329 grams, and fats, 83 grams. So, the question is, what's up first? What's my first meal of the day? Well, I actually practice intermittent fasting, so I actually am not gonna eat until, well, I guess you guys will have to find out, but right now, at, what's the time? 7:30 in the morning, currently fasted. The only thing that's entered my body is my core shred and a whole lot of water. So I'll see you guys sometime soon. And just like that, it is 1:17, 1:15 in the PM, and it's time for my first meal, guys. So all I've had right now is water, 2 serves of core shred right now. So 2 serves, my second serve about an hour and a half ago. So now we hit meal number 1. Meal number 1 is gonna give us, calories wise, let's get up on the screen, 36.4 grams of protein, 1.3 grams of carbs, and 10.2 grams of fat, giving us a total of 242 calories, which isn't a lot, but something real simple. That's it. That's all it is. Meal number 1, protein shake. And what's in this protein shake? These 2 guys here. We have ATP Science No Way. I'm going for the chopped caramel fudge flavor today. And we also use the Bulletproof brand MCT. Well, not really MCT, because they actually sort of separate out the particular part of the MCT fat chains. But essentially it's MCT oil. It's a really fast absorbing, fast, I guess, digesting technically oil. So I'm doing 10 mils of this guy, 40 grams of this guy, in this guy over here, and like I said, well, we've got 36 protein, 1 carb, 10 fat, 240 calories, and that is meal number 1, guys. Pretty damn good. I'll see you guys in meal number 2. And exactly 1 hour later, in the exact same kitchen, it's time for meal number 2. So it is 2:15 at the moment, and this is what we have, guys. This deliciously looking thing of mess, and let's break this down, all right? So in here we have 300 grams of chicken breast, 300 grams raw weight. We also then have the veggies. So the veggies, pack of veggies like this: capsicum, carrot, eggplant, zucchini. I chuck those and a good handful of spinach in the rice cooker with 1 cup of beef stock. Let that cook around. Just towards the end, I add in the chicken to let that heat up. Then I pull it out, pop it in the bowl, add 40 grams of walnuts. And then to my oils, because this is a high fat meal, we're looking at 10 mils of the MCT or the brain octane fuel, 10 mils of extra virgin olive oil, good sprinkling of salt, and 20 grams of the Nando's peri mayonnaise. So, that is the meal. The macros. Macros we have for this meal: protein, 66 grams of protein, carbohydrates, 4.7, not bad, and fats, 49.6 grams of fat, giving us a total of 729 calories. Guys, that is meal number 2. I'm gonna chow this down, and I will see you guys in a bit over an hour in meal number 3. All right, 4:20 in the PM. No better time to get my pre-workout meal in. Let's have a look. This is what we are cooking with pre-workout. So what we have here is 500 grams of sweet potato, raw weight, chucked into the rice cooker with a cup of the beef stock and the rest of the same sort of veggies as the previous meal. Popped in there, cooked it all the way through, and then once that's cooked all the way through, just before it finishes, chuck in 300 grams of chicken breast, shredded up, pre-cooked already. Goes in there, cooks it all up, heats it all up, and boom. This is what you get. Absolute deliciousness. Now macros. Let's do the macros. So this meal here, pre-workout meal number 3, we are looking at protein, 68 grams of protein, carbohydrates, 109 grams of carbs, and then fat, 0.1 gram of fat. So decent amount of protein, decent amount of carbs, first real carbs of the day, and that is going to give us a total of 709 calories, guys. That is my pre-workout meal. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys at the gym for my intra and then post-workout supplements. All right, just gone 6:40 in the PM here at AFPC, our preferred training facility. Time to talk about intra and also post-workout nutrition, technically supplements, but these contain calories, so we're going to talk about them with nutrition, part of my diet. So pretty straightforward, because my intra and post-workout contain the exact 2 same products. We have Olympus Labs Endure as our intra and post-workout BCA formula. Get a bit of a zoom and focus on that guy there, if we can. And then as well as this, we also have a Cluster Pure by Creation Supplements, which is just 100% pure, unflavored, cluster dextrin branded, highly branched cyclic dextrin, or pretty much, the actual branded version of the carbohydrate, highly branched cyclic dextrin. So we have 2 of these, right? So what we have, intra-workout versus post-workout. So intra-workout right here, we have 25 grams of carbs and 1 scoop of BCAAs. 25 carb, 7.5 of aminos, therefore 7.5 protein is how I'm treating it. Then post-workout, 2 same products, but we go 40 grams of Cluster Pure post-workout, 1 scoop of Endure, but I also add, that's when I also add about 10 grams of glutamine, pure L-glutamine as well as about, at the moment I'm using creatine monohydrate, so I add about 5, to be real, I add 10 grams of creatine monohydrate. So my total amino acids from the post-workout is about 20 to 25 grams of free-form amino acids, and therefore I'm counting that as pretty much 20 grams of protein with the 40 grams of carbs. So, macros wise, if I can get this back up working again. All right, so intra and post-workout together, we're looking at protein, 27.5 grams, carbs, 67 grams, fats, 0, no fats at all, giving us a total calorie intake for our intra and post-workout supplementation being 378 calories. So, pre-workout, no calories. It might contain 1 gram, 1 or 2 grams of carbs, but I never use the same pre-workout, so it's impossible to track, and I'm not going to worry about that. Intra post stays the same. Well, obviously I manipulate it throughout the prep, but for this week, the exact same. That's what it is, guys. Let's get this workout underway, and I will see you guys. I'll see you guys at home. Actually, I'll see you guys at home for post-workout meal. Yeah. All right, let's go. And here we are. We've finally made it. Last actual meal of the day. Not my last source of nutrition, but my last physical meal of the day. It is just gone 10 in the PM. I've had my post-workout shake, I've had my Endure, I've had my carbs. It was delicious. Now it's time to get some real food in. Let's see what we got. So, starting with the ingredientes, we have 150 grams of the Australian long grain rice, or pretty much one of these cups of rice. Then we have 2 cups of these, of the beef stock. We then have 1 packet of our delicious fresh veggies, all cut up, the same ones we've had in our past 2 meals, carrots, capsicum, zucchini, and eggplant. And then finally, we have 300 grams of raw weight of rump steak, lightly cooked on the barbecue, just to get some, just a bit of brown on it, just a bit of brown on it. Take all of these guys, pop them into this guy, of course, well, the dishes over there, pop it in that guy there, and you get this thing over here, this delicious meal over here. Of course, we're gonna add some Himalayan pink rock salt to that, but this meal here is a delicious bowl of rice, steak, veggies, most importantly, freshly cooked rice, freshly cooked veggies actually, yeah, and sort of nicely reheated and finished off cooking preparation wise steak. So, macros for this meal. Let's get the phone up. Here we go, all right. Macros for this meal, we have 70 grams of protein. To go with that, we have 140 grams of carbs. And to finish off, 15 grams of fat. All of this giving us a grand total of 981 calories for this final physical meal of the day. Guys, there's not much else I can really say about other than I just really want to get into it. So I will see you guys for a little bit of a chat and the last source of nutrition for the day. So I'll see you guys there. Alrighty guys, good morning. Yes, it was very late last night and I thought, you know what? I'd rather get a good night's sleep than trying to stay up late and film this last scene. So, first things first, my last meal of the day, or my last source of nutrition of the day. There's 2 parts to it. One is 60 grams of, can we get some zoom focus on that? Prana primal protein. So this is their paleo-friendly protein. So it's using pea, sachi inchi, artichoke, and chia seed as the protein sources, so no grains as being paleo-friendly. So I have 60 grams of this in a shake, currently using the wild berry and coconut flavor. There we go. But absolute favorite and cannot beat the hazelnut cacao, whatever you want to call it. It's like Nutella flavor vegan protein. Yeah, Yeah, it's good. Anyway, so do 60 grams of that. And then just before I go to bed, after like everything, the last thing I have is a shot of 15 grams of chia seeds. And I use the Chia brand code just because it's on there. So that's the last meal of the day, or the last source of nutrition for the day. Macros for this last source of nutrition, if I can get them back up on my phone, we are looking at a total of the two, the protein powder and the chia seeds. 45 grams of protein, 6.7 grams of carbs, and 7.9 grams of fat, giving us a total calories of 278 grams. And that's my nutrition for the day. So I'll recap those calories right at the end. But for now, I want to have a bit of a chat to you guys about, well, you know, I want to try and teach you guys something every single episode, right? So let's just talk about nutrition. And just put first things first, I honestly think nutrition is the most important element of anything and everything. Like, not even just talking about comp prep, not even talking about making gains or dieting, or obviously not dieting, but you know, cutting, is that what I mean? It just, even just life, how you feel day to day. People that don't even go to the gym, your diet and what you put in your body affects so many things. Like it is our source of nutrition. I mean, obviously water is the most vital thing that we need, you know, along with air. But food is right up there next to them. And that's the thing, like, some people neglect diet so much, and it's really disappointing, because you can get so much better results, so much better, does that make sense? Better results by just putting a little bit of effort into your diet. And I'm not talking about making sure you're eating 100% clean every single time. I mean, my favorite thing to tell people is that a diet that is 80% clean, followed 100% of the time, is more effective and gonna get you much better results than 100% clean diet only followed 80% of the time. So you might follow it, you know, 6 days out of the week, and on the 7th day, you just have that day off where you just go, fuck it, I'm just gonna just eat whatever I wanna eat. Having a diet that, you know, allows you to have that flexibility, that 20% flexibility, or 30% flexibility, whatever. But having that 70 to 80 or whatever percentage of just, you know, good quality source nutrition, and being able to follow that and adhere to that 100% of the time will always outweigh the opposite, something that you cannot maintain. Because consistency is key. Like that is just like that with the diet, it's just with your training, with your sleep, with your recovery, with just everything you do, consistency is always key. So if you can't have a consistent diet, then yeah, and you know, the importance of diet with everything else, and it's just like, I cannot stress it enough. So the most common question I get is, how do I work out my diet, or how do you work out your macros, or where's a good place to start, or just all that sort of stuff. I've been working and I've been doing my own diet since I started training. Like I've been doing my nutrition. Yeah, sure, the first 2 years were just like, I was just eating whatever I could. I dirty bulked. I've done the dirty bulk. I've ate KFC every second day, getting Domino's pizzas while I was at work. I've done all that before, trust me. Because that's what we did back then. And you know, not that we didn't have the knowledge back then, but we know so much more now about nutrient quality, nutrient timing. There's so many other things to it now. And excluding when I was in my first prep 4 years ago, when I had a coach give me my diet, I've been doing my diet every other time. Like excluding that 20-week period when I was doing my comp prep, for the 2 years before my comp, and the pretty much 3.5 to 4 years up to right now, I've been doing my own diet. I've been following a diet day in, day out. I love routines, so it's easy for me to follow a consistent diet day in, day out, and I just manipulate things. Like, so there was really no starting point. So I sort of finished up my comp prep end of 2014, and ever since then, I've been keeping Google Docs and Excel spreadsheets where I essentially follow my diet. And yeah, sure, there have been periods where I've gone off diet, or I've just gone, you know what, I'm just feeling a little bit like I'm not feeling motivated enough. I need a break. So I might have like a couple weeks where I'll sort of just get a feel for it. I'll just eat what I feel like, just sort of wing it. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to come back to tracking it, because you need to be able to track what you're eating to be able to know consistently what you're doing, to be able to be consistent. You need to be able to track it. it. You can't be consistent and not track your diet unless you're literally just gonna eat the same portion of protein, the same portion of carbs, the same portion of veggies in every single meal and never really change, you know, but then you don't really know what you're gonna change and where you're at. So you need to track your diet to then be able to be consistent, and to be able to be consistent to be able to get the results you want to get. So when people ask me, how do you start up? The best thing to do, if you're not doing any sort of tracking, is just track what you're eating. Track what you're eating right now. See how that goes for and make sure you try to keep it consistent for at least 3 to 4 days, if not a week. Track what you can. Use something like MyFitnessPal or just Google, work out what calories you're getting from what you're eating and figure out, you know, okay, is my weight staying the same with what I'm eating? Or is it going up, or is it going down? But if it's staying the same, then you know if you're eating the same sort of thing day in, day out for a good few days and your weight stays the same and nothing changes in regards to your training and cardio or whatever, something like that, then you know you're eating at your maintenance. And then depending if you're wanting to diet down or cut down or shred or whatever you want to call it, or whether you're trying to gain, then you can work from there. Obviously you can increase your calories in a surplus, or you can put yourself into a deficit. But you need to track yourself. You need to be able to track. So going back to my diet, obviously you guys see I do a lot of different and unique things. Like for starters, making sure I cook. Most things are fresh in my diet. Like I cook the veggies, I cook the rice, I cook the sweet potato. The only thing that isn't fresh in my diet and I'm sort of having to reheat is the meat. And that's just purely more of a convenience thing because I can't afford to bust out a frying pan at work and cook up some chicken. I mean, I could cook it in the rice cooker, and it has been done. I know Joel, JB, he does that all. He's done that all the time with his red meat. But I thought just to make sure it's cooked the way I like it, I can just reheat it in the rice cooker, that's what I do. But all these things that I do, I've learned and evolved over the past 6 years. Like it's not just gone all of a sudden just, yeah, all right, cool, new diet, boom, straight into it. No, like everything's evolved, like the macro split, the timing, the food sources. Like I know how much better my body likes sweet potato, which is why I have it pre-workout, because I know it's not gonna sit in my stomach. The white rice I know is fast digesting and it's a lot easier for my body to process than brown rice. Basmati's sort of the same with me with white rice. The protein sources, like my body loves, I can process chicken 1,000 times easier than red meat just because, I mean, it just does. Like, I mean, it's, you know, it's just how it is for me. In regards to the veggies, they've been chosen specifically to be the least sort of gaseous vegetables to sort of help with my digestion, reduce inflammation, be easy to digest and process, and all those sorts of things like that. Like everything that I do has a reason, and that's partially due to just sort of things that I've evolved over time, like I told you, but also because I am actually working with a clinical nutritionist who happens to be my partner, which is also very convenient. So Victoria is her name. She works at a natural health medicine in South Australia, Adelaide. So she's a clinical nutritionist or a nutritional medicine practitioner or just a nutritional specialist or whatever you want to call her, but she's done a degree at university, and she pretty much, her work essentially is food is medicine. Like that's very basic in its form, but that is essentially it. Like you don't necessarily need to be loading up on heaps of supplements. You can make these dietary changes and solve everything. That's not to say she hasn't given me supplements, because she has, because my diet obviously being quite restricted is definitely lacking in some things. So we've got some supplements to help with just my energy. We know that my body's not processing a few things correctly, so we're trying to get that back up regulated and down regulate some things, keep my thyroid in check, because I've obviously had some hormonal and thyroid issues in the past. And so I'm working with her, and then obviously she knows that I'm very sort of stuck in my ways with my diet, but like if she tells me to do something, I'll do it, because she can back it up with the science and the knowledge behind it. So I'm working very closely with her, so everything I'm doing has this purpose. And it's just, yeah, so when people come back to me and ask me like, what's your diet at the moment, what are you doing, or like, can you give me some meal suggestions? It's like, yeah, I can definitely give you some meal suggestions, but that does not mean it's not going to work for you. That doesn't mean it's going to work for you, because it's, you haven't been doing the same thing that I've been doing for the past 6 years, and you're not in the same position I am. You don't have the same body as me. You don't have the same gut health as me. It's always pointless. Like, it seems it's stupid saying this at the end of a day of eating video, telling you it's pointless, but this just gives you an idea of the stuff that I do, which is unique to me. It's not necessarily going to work for you, but by all means, if you like a meal, or you like the idea of using a rice cooker, or you like the idea of having these veggies, or you like the idea of having the high fat meal, the 2 high fat sort of shaking the meal, and then having carbs around your workout time, if you're feeling really gassy and bloaty, and you know, you're feeling quite lethargic after eating meals, maybe, you know, try going gluten-free, try going dairy-free, because that's what I am right now. That's the biggest thing Victoria got me to do, was she's like, first thing as soon as I started prep, you know, she said, let's try gluten-free and dairy-free. And I pretty much already was gluten-free, and excluding a couple of products and obviously whey protein, I was dairy-free. So I was like, all right, you know, I can do this. And I have never felt better. I honestly feel so good right now. And then from watching Joel and what he's doing with his diet lately, I thought, hey, you know what? I love the idea of being able to have freshly cooked meals. And with the rice cooker, so I stole that idea from Joel, so I gotta give credit to Joel for that one. Being able to use the rice cooker to be able to cook up the vegetables and just reheat the protein through the rice cooker. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this diet has no microwaves. There's all these little things, guys. So I'm rambling for way too long now. I hope you guys get the idea that, you know, you need to, if you wanna start with a diet, you need to track it. You need to make sure it's something you can do consistently. Not saying you have to eat the same thing every single day, but you know, if you're trying to hit your macros, you know, whatever it may be. I mean, if it's macros is a whole nother ballpark, and I'll touch on that in another episode. But yeah, you know, make sure you know what you're eating. Make sure you can track what you're eating. Be consistent. Enjoy what you're eating. Give yourself variety. But remember, consistency is key. And an 80% clean diet followed 100% of the time is always going to be better than a 100% clean diet followed only 80% of the time. It's always going to win. So quickly wrap up the day. Get those macros back up on the screen, because this has been way too long. So our final macros for the day, guys, our first day of eating, 9 weeks out from the IFBB Stage show, we have protein, 314 grams, carbs, 329, fats, 83, giving us a total of 3,319 calories. I probably maybe rounded up or rounded down some numbers in the first clip of the video, because this is the next day now. I can't remember what I said. I'm probably gonna look back and check. But anyway, it is done now. Those are the macros, guys. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button and turn your post notifications on. I think it's down here nowadays, or maybe it's down here. I have no idea. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit me up directly on my Instagram, Josh Blake Fitness, or you can find me on Facebook as well, or even in the comments below this video. Tell me what you guys want to see. Tell me what you guys want to learn more about in the next episode. And yeah, have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you for tuning into this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check out our latest upload and our recommended video, and be sure to subscribe to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads.